Hey guys, it's Cameo or Rosie Red Charizard here. And this video is a little different from what I normally do. I usually post like happy-go-lucky stuff where it's supposed to be bringing people joy, bringing myself happiness. And I took a week break just because of a lot of stuff that has been happening. So I'm in no contact with my mother, and she decided to paint herself as the victim, more or less, and then decided to find my house, which I really didn't appreciate because I haven't talked to her in over a year after she tried kidnapping my son and destroying his clothes. But from her destroying his clothes by using like Sharpie and everything, she decided to go out and buy my son a new set of clothes. So I went and donated all of that just because I don't want to deal with a very narcissist mother. Like, I'm very tired of it, and my siblings are too. And that's actually the reason why I'm doing this type of video. So, I'm going to be talking about narcissists and DARVO, which DARVO stands for Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim, and Offender. So, over the course of my life, I've dealt with losing like ex-friends, significant, or sorry, yeah. So basically, I've dealt with ex-friends, significant others, exes, trying to like worm their way into my relationships, and my own mother, like trying to destroy my relationships with people and allowing people to physically and mentally abuse me and my siblings. And like, I'm gonna relate back to my mother for a lot of this. Like, I'm not gonna name drop people. I'm not gonna say uh, what they did in very much detail. Like, I gave the beginning of this intro as kind of my way of stating that I've been through it. So this is why I'm doing this video. And I'm not gonna drop her name so you guys can like harass her online or anything. I'm not name dropping ex friends or significant others, exes. Like, I've done the whole legal stuff. I've done the whole blocking, ignoring, basically everything you're supposed to do with narcissists. And that's actually kind of why I'm recording myself talking about this stuff. I want to be more like personal versus acting like everything's fine. Because I know everyone's lives have ups and downs. And since I was little, my entire life's just kind of been one spiraling down. The only thing is, like, I haven't devolved into drugs or anything. It's just mostly, like, bad relationships, tons of health problems since birth, and all this other stuff. Okay, so what DARVO stands for is the Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim, and Offender, which DARVO is a manipulative tactic that is usually used by abusers to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and shifting the blame from themselves. So I'll go through like what DARVO stands for individually. So the D stands for deny, which, as an example, they will not take responsibility for their actions. They'll probably treat themselves more of, sorry, a little fun, because cold season. But basically, they won't take responsibility for their actions. They'll paint themselves as a victim or as if they're doing nothing wrong. Then attack, which is the A in DARVO, they will attack you physically, mentally, and attack your character basically, and try to ruin your social standing in the community. Basically, make you feel like you're nothing. So the R, the V, and the O stand for the reverse victim and offender, which they will often drag other people into their issues and paint themselves as the victim. And while the actual victim is actually being abused by people that they drag in or by the actual abuser themselves. Then for narcissists, it's kind of like the same thing. So I found images on the internet, which I'll be putting on the side here, like while I'm talking. And it'll explain it, or at least be a guideline for you if you're trying to learn about this. Like, I didn't learn about it till after spending some time on TikTok. Like, TikTok's been a very useful thing. For narcissists, what they do is a vicious cycle which has idealization, devaluation, discard, and hoovering. Which, idealization and devaluation, they act as they're like this big, perfect person, like, oh, I went to college while you didn't go to college, so I know I'm doing more than you do, type thing. And they'll basically make you feel like you're nothing. And they will treat themselves as this amazing person that can do no wrong. So what discard is it's exactly what it sounds like. They will discard the person and their feelings for their own agenda. The next one is hoovering. Manipulative tactic is used by narcissists to suck someone back into a toxic relationship. For example, they could start being overly nice. They could start love bombing you, pretending that they actually have general concern over you. It usually occurs when the person starts to feel like they're losing the victim, or when the victim is experiencing happiness and empowerment. So when they start to realize that they don't need said person. And for me, the vicious cycle is, well, as example, in my life, I deal with my mom treating me and my siblings like garbage. And then I'm assuming she starts to realize what she's done, because over the years, people have told her to get on meds to realize what she's doing to us. And yet she hasn't changed at all. So it goes from her being nice and trying to help us by like maybe getting a roof over our heads. But from that point on, she just starts abusing us verbally, making us feel like we're nothing. Like my entire life since I have EDS, she's made me feel like I was disabled until I moved out of her house, which was when I was like 19 to 20. And like, I didn't want to stay that long. It was more or less her just saying I was disabled. I had no rights because I was disabled, because in our state, it's believed that if you are disabled, the parent has control until you're 21. And I actually had an amazing support system that was like, no, that's not correct, because the disability means for mental, more of if they cannot mentally take care of themselves. Where I can take care of myself. And yes, I have a little bit of movement problems due to my EDS, but it hasn't stopped me from living my life. And from that point on, like, if I don't do what she says, it's a lot of mental abuse. A lot of her going to our family and painting me as this like, very terrible person. Like, I remember when she kicked me out in November of last year, because like I had my back ruined by an ex-friend, and she didn't want to take responsibility because she didn't train her dog. So I had to move in with my mother, and my mother, instead of allowing me to rest, decided that she wanted my kid to be there, which my ex was willing to watch over my kid while I was healing. And from that point on, it turned into I had no choice in parenting my kid at all. it was whatever she said went. And um, from that, it turned into her kicking me out, her boyfriend saying that he was going to hurt me if I allowed the police in, because she ended up picking up my 4-year-old, which whenever her and I would get in an argument, she would pick up my kid and keep him away from me until I calmed down, but she was the one that started the fight, so. And if you can see, like, I'm kind of like rubbing my hands together to try to keep myself calm, because usually this is a very sensitive subject to me. Like, I don't like talking to people about it. I've basically cut myself off from everyone else to talk about it because my entire life's been that way, where she has control over anything I do. It actually caused me to have such mental issues to the point where I was breaking down anytime anyone asked me any questions. Like, I would cry, and I wouldn't even mean to. But from that point on, she would try to buy my love with, like, gifts, or she would try to, like, she's trying to find where I live, which she believes that she found the correct house. I'm gonna let her believe she found the correct house, because I'm just done. I'm very mentally tired of it all. Like, anytime anyone brings anything about her up now, I just cry. Because I shouldn't have a parent like that. No one should. Um, but yeah. Thank you for watching my video. I'm starting to feel a little bit emotional. But if you guys been through this, feel free to seek help. I know I have. And make sure that you have someone that you can go to. Make sure you have a social circle that you can trust. I was lucky enough to actually find one. And if any of you guys feel like you need to talk, feel free to message me, okay? Through TikTok, Instagram, even on here. Because I'm a very open person. Like, I'm starting to get emotional. Oh jeez, I'm trying to make sure I don't cry because I don't like crying. And I don't like crying on camera, especially that. um, but yeah, thank you for watching, and the next video will definitely be more upbeat, okay? Bye!